Okay, we're rolling. Welcome everybody to a discussion between Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. Today is Tuesday, October 16th, let's say 1901. And on our right-hand side, we have W.E.B. Du Bois. And on the other side, opposing them, we have Booker T. Washington. The format will go like this. The first three questions will be posed to each of you. You'll each have a timed response. And then the questions following that, the 5 questions following that, will be posed to specifically either W.E.B. Du Bois or Booker T. Are we clear?
Yes.
Let's try to keep our respect. Let's try to keep our wits about us as we go about this discussion. I know that we're already feeling strongly, which is great, but let's just keep it in check. Question 1, this is to both of you. Mr. Washington first, and then Mr. Du Bois. What are your beliefs about the best way to progress as an African American? This is your chance to give me your position statement.
Well, me as W.E.B.
Booker T. Washington first, please.
Okay. So we believe that the best way to progress is using the status by the status quo. So the system we have right now is a good system because it allows our economical growth, and what we need is a strong foothold that depends and relies on money, because money is what will help us progress forward. We cannot do anything without a solid base, so we believe that what we have to do is work and show how diligently and well we work to be allowed to have some other power and eventually gain all powers that are in existence.
And what she said, that our system that we have is good because if we don't listen to it, we don't follow that system, the race might kind of get to it, and we would like to see the race go down. We would like to see it go
And in the end, we need something to help us progress because we can't start from nothing. Everything needs a founding, a bedrock. And in this case, the system is the best way to start to begin our power in it through achievement.
Well, us as W.E.B. Du Bois, we don't stand around and wait for things to be given to us. We don't wait for white people to give us our rights. We fight for what we stand for, and we don't just stand there working with the status quo. We don't. And like you said, that you don't want our generation to die. Well, they will die. If we keep being tortured, lynched, we're all gonna die. Do you want that to happen?
We also believe that we also don't rely on anybody else. And also, we don't need money, we need rights to progress.
If the only thing you want is just to fight, to have money, to succeed in later generations, this is the wrong thing. We should be fighting. If we want our rights, then we can't wait for them to come to us. How are we going to earn our rights? We need to fight for them.
Since W.E.B. Du Bois responded to Booker T's position statement, I'd like to give Booker T an opportunity to respond to what W.E.B. Du Bois has said.
Okay.
Related specifically to our position statement, not anything else.
Okay. I just want to say one thing. Society is a whole. It's not individual, okay? So society includes both African Americans and white people. So we cannot form our own society, completely cut off. And to progress, saying being tortured, I don't see a better way to be tortured than to continue with the activism. Because in the end, the Klan goes for people who believe in activism, who believe that the best way to get what we need is through this. And really, all we're going to do if we use your way is just get destroyed. Hopes get destroyed, our society get destroyed, our life get destroyed, and our future generations' morals get destroyed. Is that what we want? Is that what we want? Complete destruction? Utter destruction? Not of maybe of our race, but truly of the mind of our race, of our culture, of our heritage. We want that? We really want that destruction? Complete and utter destruction? No! We want to progress forward.
Thank you. So just a teacher aside, not moderator or facilitator aside, taking notes. I'm not seeing anyone taking notes about, okay, what I'm hearing both sides having some really good, strong points already. Think about as you're planning your next statement or your next question response. Amazing debaters can turn this question into like a barb against the other team. It's saying, okay, this question's about your position statement. Turn that, and like kind of Booker T did, turn that in, or W.E.B against Booker T, turn that into something, turn that into an advantage. And you do that by taking notes. You said this, let me talk to you about why that's, whatever, how I feel about that. Okay, the next question again is to both of you. Question 2. I'm asking for strategies, specific strategies that you have for Black advancement. We've heard a little bit about this, but I want to talk specifically about what your approach will be towards achievement for Black Americans. And this one, we'll start with Mr. Bois. 1 minute, starts now.
So, I believe that we have to rally. We have to stand up for what we believe in. So we actually have to go onto the streets and make sure people know what we want and what we need. We can't keep on living like this. We should go to African American schools, study as what we can, doctors, lawyers, so we can fight for our rights and show white people that we can actually do things. We're not just slaves or at home cooking or cleaning.
Also, I believe that we should fight for our rights first in order to gain something else in the future. We should not be only restricted to our houses or to a limited amount of area. We should not be restricted. We should be able. Okay. So we should be given rights first in order to gain money. So that's what I think.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Bois. Let's make sure in our responses that we're speaking to both, this is the royal we, make sure we're speaking to both Booker T's and both W.E.B's. Yes? All right, 1 minute response from Booker T.
Okay. First off, I don't see what strategy you have. Our strategy is clear. We want people to have a foundation, something they can rely on, somewhere they can get an advancement on. You just want us to rally. Rallying in the streets is very nice, but what are we going to get out of that? Maybe free rights to vote, but if we can't read, if we don't have any foundation to work on, that might as well be worth nothing. Do we really want to be living in the streets with nothing to just being able to vote? No, we want to have something that we can rely on, a foundation for our race, so that our race can truly progress forward. So that's why we suggest our school, an academy that teaches people to reading, writing, and essential skills to give us jobs and money and ways to progress in the future.
And also, you said rallying in the streets. Some people, the videos we've seen, we've seen people rallying in the streets and get killed because of them trying to fight for their rights. And the more they fight for their rights, the more they get killed.
Can we reply to that?
Yeah. But
So we'll have a quick response for W.E.B. Bois.
Okay, so you're saying that we don't have a foundation. So basically what I got from that is you want to just stand around and wait for things to be given to us. But if we just wait, nothing's going to happen. It's all going to be the same torture and us treated like slaves. Your school just teaching us to read, to write, and essential things that we need to know. Yes, I agree, but how about doctors? How about lawyers? We don't only want to be slaves. We don't only want to be in the house. Is that all that you can give us? Do you really think that we're not worthy enough?
And what essentials? What essentials? They're restricting us to some essentials, not all of them. We are only being restricted to slavery, to building stuff for white people. So that's just restriction. That's not essential. That's not what that's something that they're not letting us be who we can be. They're just restricting us to one thing, to what they think that we can be, not what we can actually be, and we can prosper in life more than we are right now. I believe that either America is going to destroy ignorance or ignorance is going to destroy America. You guys.
I'm going to cut you off there just in the interest of time. Good response. I really am enjoying this. I think you guys are doing super well. Question 3, again, this is to both people. So this time we'll start with Mr. Washington. We've heard a little bit about this before, the word education. We got there in the previous question, but I want to specifically address how education will figure into your plan. Broadly, there is another question, there's a follow-up question later about there's the Ski Institute and the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. This is a different question, just general education question. How does it figure into your plan?
Okay, first of all, I want to say something. You have never lived slavery. We, on the other hand, have. We grew up, our parents were slaves. Slavery has nothing to do with what we have now. So don't you start with the slavery because you have no experience. We have a real life experience, and trust me, this is much better than slavery. Okay? Second of all, we're gonna address this question. Education fits into our plan. We want people to be given a foundation. That's what we've been saying the whole time. We want people to learn to read, to learn to write, so that they in the future have something to rely on, to have something that no one can take away from them. We want to give them the basic education. The world isn't ready for black people to be lawyers and doctors, okay? We're still stuck in a period after slavery. The Reconstruction is over. No one else cares about it. So what we want to do is slowly progress forward through the only means possible to us now.
And as you said, well, how does education fit into our plan? Also, because we listen to your rights, I got the chance to go to Europe and be able to rest, and I'm sure a lot of that love Canada, and also the chance to dine with King Victoria and President.
Okay, thank you, Booker T. W.E.B, 1 minute response, please.
Well,
Specifically addressing the education.
You're saying that your education goes into your plan, but so does ours. Just standing around doing nothing isn't really going to help us succeed. We will study to be doctors, lawyers, to actually develop into something that we can earn more money. We can develop quickly. We can fight for what we believe in, and we will still have an education. We will rally on the streets, but we will still have an education. We will gain knowledge. We will not just be dumb African Americans. We're gonna fight.
Okay. And second of all, you say that you're experienced. You're experienced. That doesn't mean you follow the system and remain inside the system, looking at what's happening around you. People are being killed every single day. Still, you're remaining inside the system. We are fighting for our rights at the moment. I believe that once we get those rights, we get the right to education, we get the same education as whites, we will prosper, and we will gain the same knowledge as they do. Can we respond?
Yes, a short response. Thank you. Booker T.
Okay, so it's very good that we study to be lawyers and etc., but who will hire us? No one. So we will have wasted our lives and remain in poverty. Very well to be a doctor who has no money or a lawyer who has no cases. At the end, that's just not as good as having nothing, okay? People being killed, you know what type of people are being killed? Your people. The people who fight. The people who go against the supremacy. The people who destroy the status quo. Not the people like us, not the people who believe that the status quo is what can save us. And it is our salvation. Don't talk about how we have not. We have experienced slavery. And it is true. This might not be the best, but it's definitely the best. It might not be great, but it's the best, okay? It's the best system that anyone has opposed yet. The status quo works, okay? Because it allows our advancement. We are proof of this advancement. We have gone to Europe. We have studied abroad. We have a PhD that is an honorary PhD. We have done this. We have proved that people can advance through the system.
Thank you, Booker T. We'll hear from the other Booker T, hopefully in the next response. This question is specifically to Mr. Du Bois, and this has to do with the Niagara movement and the role that it's played in promoting African Americans' rights and freedoms. The Niagara movement, and this we can also think about the NAACP.
Wasn't it part of that? Yeah, NAACP.
Correct. And you can actually see W.E.B right here. You're right here, W.E.B. And 1 minute starts now.
So we created the NAACP to promote African American rights. And so the Niagara movement, and we are just trying to make sure that every African American is equal. The Negro must strive mightily to help himself by every civilized and peaceful method. We must strive for the right which the world accrues to men, clinging unwaveringly to these great words which the sons of the founding fathers gladly forgot. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain undeniable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Just standing around doing nothing isn't going to make us happy. The Niagara movement and the NAACP is going to help us, to help promote African American rights and to make sure we get what we need.
The Royal W.E.B. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would like to see something that you have said previously. You said it's our people. It's our
W.E.B,
people, right?
can we keep it to?
Yeah, I will refer to that in a second.
Okay.
You said it's only our people. It's all of ours people. It's our base. It's not just our supporters. It's also your people. You should be feeling guilty because you said that. Now referring to the Niagara movement, we have promoted that people, that like promoting that basically in education. We made it clear and we showed everyone in the world that what has been going through, us and what people have been doing to us. So yeah, that's what I think.
Thank you, W.E.B. Yes, you can have a quick response, but truly quick, and let's just hear from the Royal W.E.B. or the Royal Booker T. Do you have a response, Booker T?
Okay. So.
Just fine. Take your time.
Okay. My twin Booker T, from my twin Booker T. According to no one has listened to W.A. The NWA something.
How can we have so many people?
See, that's not a lot.
We'll move on to the next question. This is specifically for Booker T. Talk about the Tuskegee Institute. We've heard a little bit about it earlier in this discussion, and the role it's played in promoting African Americans' rights and freedoms. Tuskegee Institute. Can we start with?
Okay, so well, because it's the Tuskegee Institute, it's helped a lot of blacks, some blacks get jobs and help them in their life to try to succeed. And
Keep on.
okay, and because Tuskegee Institute that gave all blacks chances to promote other blacks to follow Tuskegee Institute, and also
And Twin Booker T, would you like to add anything?
Yeah. So, the Tuskegee Institute has helped create foundations for the advancement of colored people. Your NAACP has not been very useful, but instead, the Tuskegee Institute, we have allowed people to prosper in life. We have given them rights. We have given them something they have. We have allowed them to be employees and they win money monthly and regularly, not haltingly and dispersingly as people who follow you. We believe that we can do more than just being people who work in the house, but then we take time and acceptance. We believe the only thing that will help us get through this is the achievement of all of society, not just blacks, because society is everything as a whole. A whole nation is one society. So we believe that everyone has to agree and everyone has to promote the advancement for it to work.
Thank you, Booker T's, W.E.B's. Do you have a response?
Yes. You're saying that you're giving them rights and that you're letting them do things like study, except just before you were saying that you have to give them the essential rights and like housework. But then why are you saying right now that you're giving them more rights? In one of you once said that you would not limit or circumscribe the mental development of the Negro student, and that no race can be lifted until its mind is awakened and strengthened, and that knowledge must be harnessed to the things of real life. We are thinking about the things of real life, and the NAACP is helping. We are fighting so we get what we need.
Also, you also said that you were ashamed that black women didn't know how to do the house basics. You were ashamed? Why, they can do so much more. They can go like outside of the country, do so much more, learn so many more things. What jobs is it offering?
We just have to fight.
What employing, what jobs, what rights?
Thank you, W.E.B's. Good response. The second specific question to Mr. Washington is a response to this quote.
Can I get?
Yeah. So the quote is, "Our greatest danger is that, in the great leap from slavery to freedom, we may overlook the fact that the masses of us are to live by the productions of our hands. No race can prosper till it learns that there is as much dignity in tilling a field as in writing a poem. It is at the bottom of life we must begin and not the top. Nor should we permit our grievances to overshadow our opportunities." My question is this: what would your response be to a family who for generations tilled the fields and feels that they did so with dignity, but now feels that they're ready to write the poetry of freedom? Would you tell them to keep their position and not strive for what they want? Isn't that what true freedom is?
Okay.
Booker T.
Okay. So, it is this, because there is this much honor, as I say, we believe that you must start from the bottom. So if this family has worked the fields diligently, they are helping other people write the freedom. Is this really the people that should write poetry of freedom? No. Poetry of freedom should be written by those who know how to do it right. These people who have worked the fields proudly and diligently all their lives, they should continue doing it because it's their occupation. It's their opportunity. It's theirs. It's no one else's. They should not try to impersonate someone else, but truly grasp who they are and cling to it, because that is the beauty of who they are. And we believe that knowledge should be harnessed. These are how people have the knowledge of the field. These people knows how it feels, how it is. These are truly the people who have seen our race and embraced it to its full extent. And I have a question. Is it truly fighting if no one listens?
How about that for timing? Booker T. Twin,
Question.
what would you like to add?
Till the field.
Work the fields. A till is what turns the soil.
Oh, okay. So, a family that's worked on field further than usually, and now they feel that they should have coaching.
Or just do something more beyond that, more intellectual pursuits.
Okay. Well, if they want to do that, because that's their choice to do, and because
You have plenty of time, take your time.
well, to write poetry, though we should still listen to the writing poetry themes could be good